Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Progressives, this is your trigger warning. Welcome back. Al Sharpton calls border crisis an invasion, wants GOP senators pressured for allowing this to continue. You're seeing an influx of migrants from all over the country, illegal migrants. Frankly, people are outraged, Sharpton warned. I normally don't start off this negative. I have had it with this piece of, it's unbelievable. And the Democrats, all of a sudden now, this flawed border bill that gives everything the Democrats are doing now legal cover, including making the circuit court in Washington, D.C., the oversight for all of this, is absolutely bat crap crazy. I am so sick of this piece of, I could scream. Let's listen to what this idiot has to say first, and then we'll continue on.
To get the public to really rise up in various states to say to their senators that they want to see the border issue resolved. I mean, you're getting migrants beating up policemen in the streets in New York. You're seeing an influx of migrants all over the country that frankly have people outraged. And couldn't there be some kind of public pressure put in the next couple of days in some of these senator states saying, why are you allowing this to continue? Because at the end of the day, senators have to deal with their voters. And at the same time,
and that is why the framers, the founding fathers, started off with the Senate, the senators, 2 from each state, being appointed by the states. And that was done under President Woodrow Wilson, who I could make a really good argument for was the biggest piece of that ever sat in the White House. It did more permanent harm to this country than any other president. Any other. And that includes Carter. That includes Buchanan. To go through all the rest. There was some pretty bad ones. Woodrow Wilson causes the most harm of any president ever.
In the bill, you give money to Gaza, to civilians in Gaza and Israel. But the border, I mean, we're looking every day at the invasion of migrants, and they're playing a time game with politics on this.
This piece of is saying we're playing mind games with politics? You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding me. These Democrats have zero shame. None. They're the ones that said Trump's the racist, Trump's the racist, Trump's the homophobe. Putting up a wall is racist. Stopping these poor people from coming in is racist and wrong. Bah, 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 bah. Now, bashing some Republicans for not getting on board with the Senate immigration bill veiled over the weekend, Al Sharpton used the words invasion money to describe the border crisis, with some liberals to be highly controversial. Ooh, oh my, I've been triggered. Trump's been saying this since 2015, and many Republicans have too, and all they got was a big pile of for their caring about the country. This bill, just the parts that I've seen that people have outlined, and not what I've been told, what I've actually seen in the bill, people highlighting it, it's a disaster. It's actually worse than what the Democrats are doing now, but now they have the legal guys. Now we have the law. It takes away all the power of the presidency. This bill is unnecessary. Well, the main number one reason, and there's many, it ties in Ukraine and Israeli funding to help them with the war and supposedly relief efforts. So technically, some of this Israeli relief money is going to humanitarian crisis for the Palestinians, which means Hamas gets the money. Let's cut through the crap before we all drown in it. They've always got the money from every humanitarian cause that people are trying to help the Palestinians in their time of crisis. Always Hamas has taken the money every single time. So let's cut through before we all drowned in it. Not only is this a bad immigration bill, it gives money to Hamas. Let's just cut through it. And here we got Chris Murphy from Connecticut on Morning Joe tout the bill he helped negotiate. Sharpton asked what could be done to get voters to pressure their senators to support the bill. Whoever support, well, I'm in New York, so I'm stuck with two really, really bad Democrats. But I'll say this right out, and I know people that work for my congressman. My congressman formerly was Claudia Tenney. Now she's towards western upstate New York near Buffalo when they did the redistricting. I know Claudia. I've talked to her a bunch of times, talked to her on her cell. She's really good. I'm not saying that my Representative Molinaro is bad. But I'm saying this, it's time to fish or cut bait. It's ridiculous. And I hope that Speaker Johnson is telling the truth when he says he won't even let it come up for a vote. Sharpton expressed urgency and channeled people's outrage across the country at the influx of migrants, pointing the finger at senators who aren't on board as the ones allowing this to continue. It's Biden. Or I should say the people that are actually running the White House and using Joe Biden as the front man. They're getting their asses kicked in the polls. They're looking at Trump winning again. So these pieces of garbage all of a sudden now give a damn about migrants beating up New York City police, when these are the same pieces of garbage that went around defunding the police everywhere that caused this situation, that put these DAs in that won't charge people for assaulting officers and other things. Thousands and thousands should have been arrested during 2020 during the so-called summer of love. Give me a break. I am so PO'd that I can't even tell you. What is being done publicly to rise up in various states and say to their senators they want to see the border issue resolved? Follow the laws that are currently there. The president has the authority to close the border now. In the next day, the next hour, the next week, the next minute. The president has the power. Just do it. But no, they want to do what they're doing now, unlawfully, I might add, by allowing millions in, and even worse, paying for it, flying them all over the country, giving them thousands of dollars per month, free place to live, clothing, food, free medical. And they're saying that they're the victims? The country's the victims, and the Republicans are the bad guys. I can't even tell you. I haven't been this outraged in a very, very long time. This is a huge deal. Put pressure on the bear in their home states. It was you Democrats that had the amendment changed, that the Senate is by popular vote. The founders were brilliant men, and they knew underlying that, and everything push comes to shove, people suck. And they will do and they will say whatever's in their best interest, and the hell with everybody else. That's just human nature. Me included to a certain extent. I like to think I'm a little better than these guys, though. It's incredible to me. What's confined to the nativist far right, this rhetoric about it being an invasion, of a migrant invasion has surged in the Republican mainstream since former President Trump's rise in 2016. Dun, 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 Blumenthal, you piece of garbage. He went on to say this rhetoric has been deployed throughout American history to fuel support for anti-immigration measures, and mostly the Supreme Court's opinion upholding the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, which barred Chinese from entering the country and becoming citizens. You are so full of crap. Yeah, they're really treated badly. Fly first class planes all over the country. New clothes, food, shelter, debit cards with thousands on it and more thousands put on every single month. Yeah, it's the same as the Chinese Exclusion Act. You piece of... They're trying to broaden their voter base so they have power forever, or at least 20 to 30, 40 years. Minorities in this country, especially African Americans, and I hate to lump people all together, these Democrats have played you for chumps. They see they're losing you, so they're going to replace you with a different set of voters because they're done using you. Wake up. Wake the frick up. Sorry that I'm so angry, but this thing's got me so PO'd. I wasn't going to come on this strong in this video, but I can't help it. You read a quote from University of Baltimore School of Law professor Matthew Lindsay, who argued that such rhetoric has portrayed migrants as faceless masses who are racially incapable of assimilating into American concepts of liberty. Yeah. What about Ilhan Omar, a Congress member? She was assimilated. My father's people are from Italy, off the boat, as they say. They assimilated. They all assimilated. So disgusting. Would undermine the country's system of free labor by taking work at exploitative wages. In other words, being paid a lot less than Americans make. It is true. All you Gen Zers out there that are having a hard time, let alone pay rent, let alone afford your own home or get married and have children and afford that, they're screwing you over too. They're screwing everybody, and it's all the Republicans' fault. Granted, the Republicans in Congress are no great prize. You created this crisis. You let all these millions in, especially during Biden's administration in the last 3 years and change. Day one, you took all of President Trump's initiatives along the border and threw them in the garbage. On the first day, January 20th, 2021, through executive orders, a whole stack of them. I watched the video of Biden signing them all. Even if it was a good idea, they threw them out because it came from Trump. When are people going to wise up? These millions that follow these pieces of garbage like Al Sharpton is enough. How are we going to get through to these people? How? Is this going to work? I don't know. I pray not. Because once this is put in, it's over, folks. It's over. Literally over. And I'm afraid is that our country disintegrates socially, that it might bring something even a lot more worse than anything you can think of. I'm not going to say the word because I'll probably screw up the algorithm in the video, but we all know what we're talking about. The splintering of America. And this is done purposely by powerful people, powerful organizations outside the United States. The United States is the shining city on the hill, as Ronald Reagan said. If America falls with our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, the only one of its kind in the world, if America falls, there is nowhere else to go for anyone, including migrants. Keep that in mind, folks, when you vote this November. And anybody that votes for this, put them out. Out. You have the power. You just think they do. Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.